Hello guys, actually here I'm with the Extreme Fan. I'm here with another video about the Super Black being a teenager. And today I'm gonna talk about Amy and Ben. I wanted to say them for last, but honestly y'all, I really hate the relationship that Amy can discuss. And once I get done talking about Ben and Adrian, I will talk more about individual character stuff. But actually no, I gotta talk about Amy and Ricky. So they'll be the last shit I talk about. So after I get to talk about Ben and Adrian and Amy and Ricky, then we get into the individual character stuff. The characters I dislike, and I want to talk about how the writers ruined, how they kind of ruined Amy's character, how they derailed Amy's character in season 5. And I want to talk about Ricky and why I love Ricky as a character and why he's the best character in the show. But as today, let's get into it. So why do I dislike Amy and Ben's relationship? To keep this video probably as short as possible. Not too short, but in a way it's not too long because this tablet is on 85%. So I don't want it to go off on me by talking. So I'm not going to talk about their relationship in TV like I did with Ricky and Adrian. That was appropriate. I need to talk about this shit. But Amy and Ben, honestly y'all, I really feel like the writers tried so hard to make the audience believe that this was a captivating love story. Honestly, it really wasn't. Ben and Amy had no chemistry. Shailene Woodley and the guy that played Ben, I think his name is, I don't even know his name. I don't know how to figure it out. They had no good chemistry on screen. I feel like in the beginning, before her and Ben even got like serious, like first episode of her and Ben going on a date and dancing and things like that, it was cute because it felt instant. Like it felt like how you would meet somebody in high school. Like you guys are just nervous, chatting. It's kind of like what happens to things like that. Like you having to actually like talk and make conversation. That's what it kind of felt like. To me, what I feel like this should just took a dip in the pool was when Ben told her about episode 2 that he loved her. I thought that was completely absurd. I'm like, love? Y'all barely know each other. So that's a scratch my head. I feel like Ben was a hopeless romantic in a way that was very red flaggish. He did things out of love in a way that was just red flaggish. Like saying I love you at barely dating, trying to do all this stuff. Like it's like, dude, we still have time to get to know each other. Like, why do you, like, they were moving, him and Amy were moving a little too fast. Like, I love you. Like, y'all haven't had a first date. They hadn't hit her and Ben on the first date. Her and Ben had a first date until, like, episode... like, 3? I believe it was episode 3. Yeah, I remember her and Ben had a first date until, like, episode 3. And by episode 2, you're saying I love you? Absurd. And then things get even worse once Amy gets pregnant. This to me, when Amy got pregnant, I was officially over this relationship. The fact that Ben proposed to this girl, a girl who was 16 years old, about to have a baby by a whole other guy, and you want to play stepdad. Very, very hard. Because Ben conned himself into thinking that he was a good guy. Listen. Was he a stand-up guy for doing that? Sure. But it's just hard for me to say he was a good guy when a lot of his actions were just really alarming. That getting a ring and telling her that you'll marry her and be with her forever and that you'll raise a child yourself, very, very alarming. Very, very alarming. You don't have your own job, but yet you're willing to take care of a baby that's not yours. Alarming. just absurd. Trying to do whatever he could to squeeze Ricky out of the picture, that Ricky didn't even get a chance to enjoy this pregnancy for himself. And Ricky was barely involved in pregnancy, and I made a video about that. He was barely involved in the pregnancy with Amy because Amy had been, and her parents, like, except for Anne a little bit, they tried to do whatever they could to squeeze Ricky out of this pregnancy as much as possible, which was really fucking annoying. It got on my goddamn nerves, and I was just sick tired of it. Then Amy agreed to marry Ben, which is Ben trying to rescue her. That's all it was. Just because y'all get married, it's not gonna change the fact that you're still gonna be 15 and you're still gonna be pregnant. It won't change anything. Amy honestly believes that her and Ben getting married would change everything. It would make things less stressful. Why? Because Ben wants to stand up for you. I get that. I understand that he's sitting up for you. He's a stand-up guy. But this is really alarming. Ben is willing to sacrifice his life to take care of the kids that is not his. What kind of guy does that? Why would anybody do that at 15? Why would anyone do that at 15? Please tell me, unless you are a legal guardian and you are put in a position where you have to watch someone else's kids because of the situation, that's the only time it makes sense to me. But at 15, I'm going to look for a job. I'm going to have my nanny watch over the kids. We go to school. It's like, at 15, you ready to be a stepdad at 15. You ready to be a husband and a dad at 15. Now, I know people say, well, Nathan and Haley got married, and when she was like 16, yeah, but that's a different situation. Amy and Ben were getting married because Amy was strictly pregnant. That's the only reason why Ben married her. He felt bad for Amy, and he told her that in season 3. He felt bad for her because he thought that she was stupid. That's the reason why he married Amy. He felt bad for her. I mean, on some extent, I feel bad for her too. She's 15, pregnant. All this is new territory. This is her first year in high school, and this happened. It's awful. It's awful. But that does not mean Ben thinks he can be Superman, and he's trying to be, I'm the Superman, I can be your Superman. He's trying to be a Superman and save her, and it's just like, that's not right. That's not going to stop her problems. She's going to be 15 and pregnant. She's going to have to live with this kid. Trying to put Ricky out as possible. Talk about he don't like the fact that her and Ricky are going to have talks about the baby. It's like, it's their kid. It's not your kid. Why should you care? The fact that Ben got to be at an appointment, the fact that Ben got to be at the talks about whether or not we're doing with the kid, it just really fucking upset me. It really just blew my mind. The fact that Ben is telling me that he's going to get a job to help raise their son, even before John asked his son, was ridiculous to me. The fact that he got mad because she tried to accuse her of being interested in Ricky, it's just like, me personally, I feel like me and Ricky were always really interested in each other. They just didn't act out on their feelings until season 3, in my opinion. I feel like the feelings were kind of always there. Amy just hated him, but I feel like it was just unfair hate. And Ricky was in his football days, so that definitely was not going to happen. Sorry, I gotta check my phone. But, for the charger. Sorry about that, sir. But, this is like a lot of bands actually this season 1, if I could just coming up. Just very alarming and just very bad. The fact that he's agreeing to do this and agreeing to do that over a girl that he's just met, and a girl, and him and Amy barely know each other. They barely even know each other. And yet they want to make all this big commitment at 15. We got better know each other. Especially, when Ben was trying to marry her for all the wrong reasons. When Nathan and Haley, it was love there. They genuinely loved each other. And her dad said, you can drink at 21, drive at 16, but it's wrong to get married at a young age. It's out of here. It's just too young to know that you're in love, or that you're with the, if you think that at 16 you're with the love of your life and you want to get married, get married. The fact that everyone thought it was because Amy was pregnant, I just felt like, wow, so no one believes the love that her and Nathan really have. The fact that Brooke thought that she was pregnant and Hayward, it's just love. It's like, why should they be getting married? She's not pregnant. So that just shows that no one really understood the love that Nathan and Haley have for each other. But everyone thinks that it was just her being pregnant, which again, 19 flip 40. In season 2, Ben thinks he is owed sex by Amy because he sticks around and helps her with John and things like that, telling her that he wants to have sex. And he starts to give Adrian more attention because Amy is not giving him attention. She told him that right now all she wants to do is just kiss, hang out, and make out. She's not having sex with anybody because of what just happened. She just had a baby. She thinks about sex. He thinks he owes sex because he helped her out and because he's been a good guy. It's like, Ben, who the fuck are you? You ain't nobody. You ain't nothing. I don't owe you a damn thing. He told his dad that he wants to date other girls. He wants to have sex. It's like, okay, then to break up with me. Because I think what it sounds like is that because I'm not giving you what you want, you don't want to be together. Then that should break up. So he cheats on Amy when he goes off for the summer. He cheats on her, lies about it, and then when the girl comes back, Amy is what her mom was and her grandmother. The girl comes back to see Ben, and he cheats on her again. Yet Ricky didn't say anything. Her own goddamn sister didn't say anything. Her own best friends didn't say shit. They didn't say shit until Amy came back to school and said they saw him with that girl, and then her and Ben broke up. Then, after Amy dates this other guy named Jimmy, Ben gets jealous and tells her that because they're not together, he doesn't want her to have sex with any other guy. He doesn't want her to have sex with Ricky or that guy dude that she's dating. And Amy told him that's not up to you, and you don't get to have sex on who I sleep with, which is he clocks that. You don't get to have sex who I sleep with. Not fucking at all. So then Ben speaks with Adrian because Amy and Ricky did. And had the audacity to blame Amy for why he did it. He said he would have had to let me come in and we talked. He said that would have never happened. She said what you really mean is that if I would have never had Aunt Ricky date me. That's what you really mean. Deep down, you have been jealous and you have been calculated by the fact that Amy and Ricky have had a kid together. Grow the fuck up, man. Shit happens. Shit happens. Teenage girls get pregnant every day. Not saying that you should get pregnant at when you're a teen. No. It's like, dude, that's before she even met you. Why are you getting so jealous and so calculated by the fact that she had to be with somebody else before she even knew you? It's not your burden to bear. So it's just like, let it be. Leave it alone. It's not your burden. The fact that him and Adrian were so calculated and so insecure by pretty much a one-night stand that didn't mean anything to them is absurd. So Amy's crying over him, saying that how can he do that to her, which I agree. How can he do that? I understand they weren't together, but it's like he pretty much told her that he did it on purpose, that he knew it would hurt and he did it anyway. And then he had the nerve to blame Ricky for saying that I blame you. You got the one girl I love pregnant. He said I want to punch you. He said that things would have been better if you would have never gotten Amy pregnant. It's how you know that. If you love Amy so much, why are you so insecure about her having a kid at 16 with a guy that she's not with? leave it alone. Again, it's not your burden to bear. Because him and Adrian are upset that Amy and Ricky are forever tied by John. No matter what. You're going to forever be tied by John. And it's like, okay, if you're that insecure, you feel that inferior, leave me alone. Break up with me. Then you can break up with her a long ass time ago. Like, if you want to date other girls and sell your wild up, go and do it. She ain't got no chain on you. Do what the fuck you want to do. You're the one who keep coming to me. And then he gets mad that Amy and Ricky decided to throw a birthday party with their son in Ricky's apartment. He said he still loves her. He called Amy out of an emotional manipulation tactic and told her that he still loves her and that he wants to make it work. She tells Madison and Lauren that Ben called her last night saying that he still loves her. And they said, do you still love him? She said, I don't know. So I guess we'll just see. In that episode, Ben finds out that Adrian is pregnant. Child. In season 3, her and Ben get back together. They forgive each other. Ben wants to keep that Adrian being pregnant a secret because he thinks that Adrian was lying about being pregnant. She was lying about not being pregnant. That she basically wanted that she wasn't pregnant even though she was because she wanted to take care of it. She wanted to have an abortion, but Ruben didn't like that. Like I said, the fact that Ruben was okay with his 17-year-old daughter having a baby, the fact that he was okay with Adrian, who was 17, being pregnant at 17 is really alarming to me. But anyway, Ben saying no one's gonna get in between him and Amy again, and that nothing's gonna ruin it. Even if Adrian did take care of it, he was willing to keep the secret. He was willing to keep her essentially getting pregnant a secret from Amy, which again is just like he's really this good guy, right? But like deep down, he's really not. Ben is obsessed with Amy. That's all it is. It's just obsession. It's a complete, total obsession. He's obsessed with the idea of them getting together, even though it was never good to begin with. It was never good to begin with. Never. Amy leaves to go to New York, and he decides not to tell her that Adrian is pregnant and that she is going to have the baby until his dad talks him into it. He tells Amy breaks up with him, and they stop seeing each other. They have like one final talk, and she's saying that what's best for them is to just try to be friends. She wants to be with Ricky, and he said he's going to try to be there for Adrian. They try to sell that scene of like they were first lovers and they were each other's first. Like they even had the nerve to say like flashbacks of how her and Ben first met, and like it's like who's buying this love story? Who's buying this? They call it a love story. I call it love trash. Her and Ben did not have a good love story. It was obsession. It was about obsession and rescue needs from the very beginning. Amy only stayed with Ben because Ben felt sorry for her and because Ben was there for her at a time where she needed someone. And I feel like Ben took advantage of it. He knew that Amy needed somebody, and he was going to, and when things get good, he was willing to throw in her face that he was there when he didn't need to. And it's like, okay then, bye. But you get your part, don't want to go. Like, enjoy your life, have a good one. Then the baby shower stuff happened, and that's when Ben, season 3, actually season 2 was the season where I realized that I just really don't like Ben. I think he is spoiled. I think he is obsessed with girls. I don't think he's a nice guy. I think he's calculated. I think he feels like he's owed something because he, quote unquote, does right thing all the time. He's whiny as hell. He's egotistical. He's very self-centered. Everything is always about him. In season 3, he got at Amy because she didn't want to do baby shower, which is like, okay, I don't want nothing to do with it. She talked about, can she just say sorry? He said, can you sit and go to shower for her? She said, after what she just said, he said she just don't think it can happen. And he said that he understands that what she did was wrong, but he don't understand because he's still taking her side and not going to understand what she did was so out of line. He's coming over here and trying to tell Amy to still throw her a shower. I'm not throwing that bitch anything. And then she said, man, we're friends, right? So let me get real with you. Adrian is only with you to make Ricky jealous. She's trying to make Ricky think that he missed out on a good thing and Ricky don't give two fucks about what they got going on. That's the only why she could stay in, because she wanted Ricky to feel jealous about the fact that he missed out on something, but he don't care. So then that's what Amy told him, and he said, we're friends, right? He said, we're friends, right? He said, we're friends too, right? He said, let me get real with you. He said, what was your reason for getting pregnant at band camp? He said, were you stupid? He said, did you not know how to use a condom? He said, or be a birth control? He did not know how to say no. Basically trying to call her a slut and call her stupid for why she got pregnant. It's like, you talk about someone who can't say no? Have you seen your fiance? That's what Amy should have said. Amy is very passive. I feel like that scene, the fact that she was like quiet the whole time, would have not fly with me. I would have been up in Ben's face telling him, what the fuck you said? What did you say? What did you just fucking say? I would have been arguing back and forth, but I was stupid. I was I don't know how to do protection. If you want to know who killed Amy, it was her parents. They didn't tell her about unprotected sex, but unprotected sex can lead you. They said that she was more focused on her schoolwork, her friends, and being in the band, that they didn't even think she would ever be interested in sex. It's like, what? The child is probably in high school. You don't think a conversation like that is needed or accurate to have? Ridiculous. Terrible parents. And it's not as terrible as George. I feel like as I watch the show back, I like George less and less. But it's not that bad. I just thought her character was in the show for like no reason. But pretty much, Ben really just like says a lot of hurtful things. He calls her stupid. He tells her that Ricky has slept with every girl and that should have been no surprise to Amy, and that he told every girl that he's been with that he loves them and that he wanted to have a connection with them, and that he didn't. And then tried to accuse her of only being with Ricky because she's trying to justify her mistake at band camp. Like, there's a lot of hurtful things. There's a lot of things that are really hurtful. Like, absolutely no reason. Like, I just feel like, why did he go hard on her so much more? And then Amy just like him. She didn't do nothing. She told her that, and I should go a baby shower for Adrian. It's like, no. And then Ashley thought that she had the right to go on her 2 cents. I hate this bitch, Ashley. Another bitch who doesn't have sister for absolutely no reason. Why? Because was she with Ricky? Why? Because she had a baby at 15? You're really sure of that? Actually, you get pregnant at 15, then you let me know how it feels, okay? Okay, then. Alright? Alright. She told Amy that Amy just called me and said that something went down the hallway. She said, okay, and she was like that Adrian called a whole bunch of girls over to show me that all the girls are successful. And Ashley said that shouldn't have been a surprise. I mean, yeah, it shouldn't have not been a surprise. Amy knows that Ricky was a hoe. But it's one thing to know that, but it's one thing to have all the girls that he's been with plaster in front of his face. It made her kind of feel like she was in a competition with them now, because they gave Ricky what she's not getting him. And if he's not getting what he wants, maybe he'll step out on her like he did with Adrian. But he didn't. He was trying not to do that. So then Ashley said it shouldn't have not been a surprise, and she said that it shouldn't matter. She said that, why do you care so much anyway? She said that Ben tried to tell her that she is trying to justify her feelings for Ricky by just being with him. say, isn't that what you're doing? No. I hated Ricky at first, and then once I grew up, I wanted to get to know him. Yes, she hated Ricky at first. The hate was unjustified and totally unnecessary. But I feel like when Amy matured into 3, I like the side of her. I like the fact that her were taking things slow and trying to get to each other as Amy and Ricky. And Ashley said, and I mentioned it in the Ashley and Ricky Lake storyline, that she always hated Amy for being mad at the fact that Ricky was attracted to her. And she resented Amy for being mad that Ricky wasn't attracted to her, or that he was or he wasn't. And she said the fact that you can see that kid for a total betrayal is ridiculous. I just think I have to mention because it's like Ashley is so fucking annoying and I hate her with every ounce of my soul. But the fact that you don't see that kid as anything but a total betrayal, or the fact that your entire feelings for him were a total betrayal and inappropriate, it just boggles my mind. It's just like, go sit down somewhere. Go sit down. So then apologizes, and Amy's gonna get married, and I guess it's all cool. It's just for Ben because obsessed with Amy. It's pretty much seasons 4 and 5. Ben is really obsessed with Amy. He wants to be with her all of a sudden, even though he gave all his energy to other girls. Wherever something doesn't work out, Ben always thinks that him and Amy are meant for each other. It's really weird. It's a obsession when Amy became really stalkerish. It got completely out of hand in season 5, honestly. He followed her to her university, saying that he's applying to the same university, even though it's a music university. You don't even play any music. He tries to move in her same dorm area so he could be next to her. He sits next to her on the plane, takes her wedding ring. Ben was really stalkerish. It was hopeful for Amy needed to get a restraining order. The fact that this man stole her wedding ring is just like, what are you doing? The fact that he followed her to university is crazy to me. The fact is he's important that he felt like Ricky is the bad guy for Amy. He doesn't deserve to be with her. And he's talking about, don't you feel Ricky's gonna hurt you too? He's not good enough for you, Amy. And she said he's gonna hurt you. Which is crazy because at the end of the series, Amy was the one who did the hurting. The real Amy was the one who did all the hurting. And he said sooner or later he's gonna hurt you. That's who he is. She said that's who he was. Ben, what makes you so perfect? You just married a girl because she's going to have your kids, and now you got divorced without even being married for that long. And now you think you're married material over Ricky? Go sit the fuck down somewhere. You're no better than him. At least he's trying to work at himself. You're not. All you do is just date and try to rely on girls to help you get through things. You never work on yourself. Honestly, y'all, I don't understand why the show was obsessed with Amy and Ben. I feel like this ship had nothing to it. It was really a nothing sandwich. Her and Ben had no chemistry. This ship started off for way too long, in my opinion. I just got really tired of like the back and forth of like her and Ben, will they, won't they? Like not even will they, won't they? Like I got tired of the writers trying to constantly tease her and Ben. Like this got really annoying. I was like, you got at season 1. That's what it needs to be left at. And that's called a day. Like we just call it a day. I just feel like I just feel like I said, this video wasn't going to be long because I don't have much to say because I just really don't like her relationship at all. I feel like Ben was weird. I feel like he was stalkerish. I feel like he had no boundaries, and I feel like he was a freak because it's like he was owed something because he did the wrong with Amy when anybody would have left, and I just don't like Ben. The more I go back and watch the show, I realize I don't like Ben. He's not a good guy. He self-centered, and he never takes any accountability for his actions. It's never about him. He's always pointing the finger at somebody else for why he did things. And that shit got annoying. Like, he acts like a whole ass kid, even though like he's a whole ass teenager. Like, he acts like he's 5, 17. It's just like grow up. But anyways, that's all I have to say. If it was up to me, honestly, I would have made Amy and Ben break up in season 2 and never get back together. I would have left it at season 2, and that's it. But anyway, that's the video for today. I hope y'all enjoyed it. 2 uploads in one day. So I will see y'all next time with me talking about Adrian and Ben and what I thought of relationship. I think what I would say here in my final thoughts about Amy and Ben one more time for people who don't understand me. I feel like this relationship was not a love story. I feel like it was a story about obsession. Sorry. It was a story about obsession and needing someone to save you from your problems until you learn to stand up for your own. I think Amy really felt like she needed Ben as someone because she didn't know how to stand up for herself, which I totally understand because she was emotionally distressed. And I could understand to the one in season 2 that she needed. But when she came back and she was feeling hurt, I felt like her and Ben were never going to work because it's not what it was season 1. I think what that was meant to be was just puppy love. And I think that's all her and Ben really was. It was just love. It was the idea that they were each other, that they have this epic love when it really wasn't that. It really wasn't that. So, that's what I have to say. Let me know what y'all think, and I will see y'all next time.